I can still hear his laugh. Dad. Mom sent cookies. He was proud of it, smiling like it meant something, like it could erase all the weeks she hadn't called. The box sat on the kitchen table, open. Neatly folded pink tissue lined the inside. He held it out to me, offered one. Chocolate chip, his favorite. But something felt wrong. The edges were too precise. The chocolate chips too perfectly placed. I'd seen these cookies before, just not from her. A boutique bakery sold them. I knew because I'd bought the same ones once for her. My stomach nodded. Did you already eat one? I asked. He nodded, chewing, crumbs on his lips. That's when I noticed them, tiny blue flecks in the dough. Not sugar. Not chocolate. I shouted. Told him to spit it out. He froze, confused, then coughed hard. I grabbed him. No shoes, no jacket. Just keys and panic. We flew out the door. By the time we got to the ER, he was already gone. She didn't cry at the funeral. People like her don't cry, not really. She wore a black dress, played the role, stood at the back, dry-eyed and composed. Her voice didn't crack. Her face didn't fall. They called it an accident. Dihydramine, an over-the-counter drug. Just enough in his system to cause seizures in a small child. There was no return address. No fingerprints except ours. She sent him cookies. And gave him a coffin. 3 years before that, I was in love. Not the kind in fairy tales. The kind that takes effort. The kind that weathers layoffs, screaming toddlers, sleepless nights, mortgage stress. Love that breaks but finds a way to mend. Or so I believed. She told me she needed space. Said she felt alone. That I was always distracted. Always working. I let her go. We shared custody. I packed his lunches. Walked him to school. Read bedtime stories. She took photos. Posted them online. Smiled for an audience. I didn't pry. I didn't want to be that ex. The jealous one. But silence is a breeding ground for secrets. It started small. He mentioned new people. A friend who came by a lot. A man who picked him up when she was too busy. I didn't ask questions. I should have. One day, my son mentioned something offhand. Uncle Mark drives Mom's car sometimes. I didn't know anyone named Mark. Then I noticed a $2,800 hotel charge on our shared credit card, booked for a weekend when my son was supposed to be with me. She didn't even try to cover her tracks. That's when I stopped being fair. I collected everything: receipts, phone logs, GPS data, photos. I brought in a private investigator. 2 weeks later, he handed me a folder. It was filled with evidence: double lives, infidelity, financial fraud, even what appeared to be involvement in a fake prescription ring. I didn't confront her. I watched. I waited. I knew she'd come back for more. She always did. 6 months after our son died, she filed a wrongful death suit against me. Said I was negligent. Said I gave him the cookies. Said she had warned him not to eat sugar. Claimed I was mentally unstable. Said grief had broken me. Claimed she wanted full custody, not of a child, but of his memory. That was her fatal move. I countersued for control of our son's estate. What she didn't know was that the day before he passed, he'd inherited $200,000 from my father. It was in a trust under my name. She assumed it passed to her. She got greedy. And to justify that greed, she kept lying. So I let her. I didn't take it to court first. I took it to her boss. She worked at a pediatric clinic. One anonymous package with the right documents, and she was gone. Clinics don't like staff involved in shady prescriptions. Next, I passed evidence to the IRS. She hadn't declared a dime from her side business. Her accounts were frozen. She called me crying. I let it ring. At the custody hearing, I came prepared with the PI, the files, the witnesses. Even the social worker, who had once noted our son's fear of her new boyfriend. Her attorney couldn't save her. The judge saw right through her. No inheritance. No case. No pity. Just silence, as she was told to leave with nothing. She tried to claw her way back. Created a GoFundMe. Spun a story about being a grieving mother failed by the system. I sent the platform evidence of her scams. It was gone within hours. I heard she bounced between friends' couches, tried applying to clinics in other states. Word got around. She vanished. Sometimes I sit alone in my son's room. Everything's still there. Even the crayon drawings on the wall. People ask why I never involved the police. I did. They said it wasn't enough. No fingerprints, no solid proof. Just a box in the mail. But some truths don't need courts. Some justice lives in quiet places. She thought she could use our son as leverage, as income, as armor. She didn't expect me to play the long game. She forgot who built the life she tried to destroy. She forgot I don't scream. I shift the earth under my enemy's feet. My son once asked me if monsters were real. I told him yes, they just smile like everyone else.
He believed me.
Now, so does she.